Episode 12, and we're back with another video. Although the videos have been coming out regularly, Mondays and Thursdays for the past few weeks, this is the first one that I've made in about a month because I managed to get myself a little bit ahead, but now you're caught up with me. So I'm filming and recording this on Sunday, and this will be released on Monday morning. Anyway, with that said, let's get into the video. So first day worth of training I've got on here. I did a lot of clean and jerks, worked up to top set of 92.5 kilos. I think it was either for 3 or 5 reps, but for whatever reason I've only got a video of one of the reps. Now you'll see on a lot of the reps I'm pausing either at the knee, below the knee, in the catch, or even in the receiving position of the jerk. That's to make sure that I'm in a good position, and 2, that I repeat that good position. So I'm really trying to make an improvement in my weightlifting. So we now know that the CrossFit Open is going to be February-March time next year. With that said, that means that there's about 6 months time until I'll be competing in that. Now obviously there's going to be lots and lots of people worldwide competing in it, and it's going to be a good chance to see how my fitness has improved over what will then have been about 18 months worth of doing CrossFit. As you can see, we're now on to the next day's worth of filming. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So with 6 months until the CrossFit Open now, that means that we're kind of going to be taking a bit of a mini off season. So the biggest focus for me is the weightlifting side of things. So with CrossFit, the weightlifting is like a barrier to entry. So it's almost like if you're not strong enough, you can't play. So for example, there's a workout in the Open last year where it was progressively heavier cleans, and between it you had to do pistol squats and box jumps, but it was something like clean 60 kilos, then 100, then 120, then 140. If you weren't strong enough to clean 60, 100, 140 or whatever, you just get stopped in the workout regardless of how fit you are. So now I'm at the point where my conditioning has improved significantly, so has my gymnastics, my weightlifting, it really needs to improve. So basically we're going to be spending a lot more time on the weightlifting side of things. So that means more back squatting, front squatting, deadlifts, and more importantly, clean and jerks and snatches. So at the minute, my clean and jerk is hovering around 110, that's in kilos, and my snatch is 90 kilos. Let's just stop for a second and look at this pistol squat PB, 32 kilos on each leg for a single rep. Anyway, as I was saying, my snatch is 90 kilos, clean and jerk is 110. Ideally, to be competitive, it wants to be about 150 and 110 for the clean and jerk and snatch. Realistically, by the Open next year, it would be fantastic if I could add another 10 kilos to each of them. Whether or not that'll happen, all I can do is just do the daily training, make sure everything on my end is good, and the results will be whatever they will be. So can't really plan too much the exact numbers because you can't control exactly how your body's going to respond. What you can control, and what I do intend to control, is the training effort every day. So making sure warming up properly, going through all the training with intent, and making sure, like I said earlier, things are in a good position. And then outside of training, it's recovery, making sure that everything's going well there. So food wise, it's making sure there's enough protein, carbs specifically, and timing my food around training. Although it's not the most important thing in the world, it does make a difference when you're doing double sessions. Sleep wise, tend to already be a pretty good sleeper, so that's making sure that I'm getting anywhere from 8 to 9 hours a night, and then essentially trying to remove stress as much as possible, all of that to lead to the best recovery. So with that said, weightlifting is the big focus. So you can see here on the next session I had some ring muscle ups, pistol squats, and then some light snatch technique work. So after the snatches, did some snatch pulls, and then chuck the bar up onto the rack to do some snatch balances and overhead squats, and then followed that up with some good mornings, some planks and side planks. So you can see here I'm not wearing my weightlifting shoes, I'm just wearing normal Metcons. Part of the thoughts behind that was if you're in a workout and you've got overhead squats and something like running or rowing or whatever, you don't want to be having to mess around changing shoes, so I don't want to rely too much on my weightlifting shoes. I am still wearing them for the majority of the weightlifting sessions though. So here you can see me setting up to do some banded ring dips. So at the minute I can do a set of 5 strict ring muscle ups, but also I can only do 5 or 6 strict ring dips. So obviously that's a limiting factor. So after my session with the ring muscle ups, just did a couple of sets of 5 using a red band as a bit of assistance, making sure I'm going through a good deep range of motion. This was it for this session, and then we move on to the next day. So the next day that we've got, I started the session off with some strict press. I did 30 kilos for 15 reps, 40 kilos for 10, maybe 45 for 8, something like that. And then lots and lots of work on bar muscle ups. Now you see, as I'm coming over the bar, I'm not releasing my hands, and so my hands are rotating on the bar. So that was something I was trying to work on today. This second set is a bit better, but still not great. I think this set was the best one. You see how much easier it is to float above the bar. That's essentially releasing and then catching on top of the bar again. Did some handstand walks like normal. The only set that I filmed was this over the obstacle, and this is the first time I've done this specific obstacle. So normally I have 20 kilo plates leading up to the 30 centimeter box, but today was 15, 30, 15, and it felt good, so I tried to go again and just flopped. This here that you can see is supposed to be a tuck front lever, so working towards a front lever. Followed that up with some dumbbell jerks, just working on technique, and then finally some banded strict muscle up work. So obviously I'm not actually doing strict muscle ups, but I'm trying to do high pulls with a false grip with a view to working up to proper strict muscle ups. This is then the end of that session, which was, I think it was the end of the day. I did first back squat session in quite some time. With strength being the main focus, I'm not concerned about wearing knee sleeves and belt or whatever, so I just stuck them on, worked up to a top set of 130 kilos for 6 reps. So it was all pretty steady really, and it's nice to do some back squatting again. Hopefully push this back up to around 220 kilos, then I'll definitely have the leg strength there for the weightlifting numbers that I want to hit. This was the end of this training day. And then finally, the last footage that I've got, I think this was on Friday, started the session off with a couple of rope climbs, did some legless just up to the halfway point, and then a bunch of technique work using my feet. Then there was lots of wall balls, burpees, that sort of stuff, but the only other thing that I filmed were some sets of push press. When I watched back the video of the first set of push press, I realised I wasn't actually locking out properly. So on the next set, I got Rachel to keep an eye and let me know when I was doing everything properly. So with that said, this is the end of episode 12. Hopefully I'm going to try and improve the quality of these videos like I've said in the past. Today's video I did edit a bit more, so hopefully it has made a difference, and I'll see you in the next one. If you've enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'll see you in episode 13. Is this on? Test, see if it works. I bet I look like I've never used a computer before. Yeah, there's the button.